Introducing the 2025 Kona EV from Hyundai, brought to you by the Drive Experience.
All right, welcome back everyone. Here today we have the 2025 Hyundai Kona EV. This is the ultimate package, and some of the stats on this: we have a 64.8 kilowatt battery capacity, 182 kilowatt battery power output, and this one is running the 400 volt maximum voltage, so it's not going to charge quite as fast as, say, the Ionics, because they're running the 800 volt, but still charges quite quickly. We can do a 0 to 100 level 2 6.5 hours, and on a rapid charge 0 to 80% on a 100 kilowatt charger we're 43 minutes approximately. So still pretty decent. Get about a 420 kilometer range with the Kona, and you get slightly less on the GT line model, mostly because of the size of the tires that they're running. They're running a bigger size, same power output on both models. So for the 2025 model, we are running on this particular one, there's a 215/60 17-inch wheel. This is the redesign, so it does have the long sort of LED light on the front here, some of the Ionic little features. Nice design, definite improvement from the last one. They still have these nice cut lines in the body here, which makes it really unique to the Hyundai brand. Same thing, nice long LED across there. And if I open up the back here, we're gonna have ample cargo space for a small little SUV like this. So quite a bit of space for a small family. The Kona EV is running what they call a superstructure. So it is kind of specific to the Kona, unlike the Ionics, where they're running their global module platform, which is essentially a skateboard style setup where you're able to integrate different bodies to the structure, and it is more efficient for building purposes, and we're able to essentially remove one body, put another, so you have an Ionic 5, Ionic 6 and 9, which is coming soon, and that's where you're going to be able to exchange motors, battery packs, change the wheelbase slightly. So that's the difference between these ones. The Kona is more based on the gas model. So we're just gonna jump in here and take it for a drive. All right, so let's go. All right, so welcome to the cockpit of the Kona EV here. Nice, comfortable seats. Just gonna do a start up here. So we do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, standard on these, even on the base models, with a wireless charging as well. So let's do this. So obviously nice and silent. This one doesn't have any active noise in it, so it is completely silent all the time. Of course, all the electric cars, the way that they do work is they do emit a ambient sound under a certain kilometer an hour. I believe it's around 20 kilometers an hour. It permits outside of the vehicle. This is a safety thing so that people can hear the car coming. And then when you're in reverse, it does have its sound as well. So a few different drive modes. We have the eco mode, which is obviously going to be the most efficient. It's going to have quite a bit of pedal delay, especially on initiation of throttle, to give a nice, smooth, progressive transition on the throttle. But once you do go around half to 3/4 throttle, then we're going to have full power. So even in eco mode, it's not like it diminishes the power output at all. It's just how that throttle is going to respond on throttle position. And then we're going to have the normal mode, activates a little bit more prime pedal. Into sport, we're going to be the most active, where I can get on throttle and really have that full 188 foot-pounds of torque. So 200 horsepower is nothing to slouch at, especially with a little SUV like this. Has ample power for passing and adequate torque for regular driving. So the electrical vehicles are obviously really specific driven for certain people and what their requirements are. Like I said, the Kona does have a 420 kilometer range, which is really, really good actually in this segment, because we get a nice amount of mileage for the type of vehicle we're in and the price point that we're at. I've been working with electric vehicles the last few years, and you know what's really important is for the economy of the battery and what kind of mileage you're going to be able to get. It is very dependent on the driver behind the wheel. If I tend to be really on throttle a lot and utilize quite a bit of power, I'm gonna definitely reduce my battery output. But what's interesting is we can sort of manipulate the vehicle and how it's going to perform based on, one, how we drive the car. If we're nice and light on the throttle and really just moving slowly and nice and progressive, but also we can make a big improvement on the battery and the consumption of the battery based on how we operate the vehicle. So not only in the way we drive it, but also in our settings. Obviously in the winter, for the heat, the HVAC system, I want to really be conscious of utilizing less fan output and lowering my temperature. So if a 21 is generally what you would run in the car, you want to lower that to potentially 17, 18 degrees, and then utilize your heated seats. The heated seats consume literally no energy whatsoever. So by using the heated seats, the heating steering wheel, and lowering our temperature, we can really have an impact on the battery output. So just right there, we can save some mileage, and it really makes a big difference. These ones have a really good function where it's an auto setting, and you have 3 levels of that auto setting. So at auto setting 1, and I lower my temperature to say 18, this is really, again, just by doing that, I'm bumping my autonomy up quite a bit. By utilizing it like that, or say in the summertime when we're using the air conditioning, I would want to run it slightly higher on my temperature. And this model with the Ultimate, we actually have the cooled seats. Again, we're utilizing less energy to run those cooled seats than we are to run a cold temperature on the HVAC system. So something to really keep in mind. It's not just about how you drive the car, it's about how you set the car up and how we're going to run it on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I'm going to do a little pull off of here. I am in sport mode as I'm turning a corner. Full throttle, a little wheel spin, and I come out. Not a lot of torque steer, but a little bit. Does handle it quite well. Got a little bit of wheel spin and take off nice and quickly. So on the electric cars with their regen systems, Hyundai, what they offer is a 1, 2, 3 level regeneration, and then level 4 is the I pedal. So I pedal essentially is one pedal driving. So when we're in I pedal, and how I activate that is off of these sort of paddle shifters here. And so if I paddle shift on my right, I can diminish the regeneration rate to a 0. And 0 is going to be like your normal car, where when I release throttle, I'm going to just coast away. And as I increase that on my left paddle here from 1 to 3, I'm going to increase that regeneration. So as I let off throttle, it's going to decelerate and actually regenerate the battery. So this is going to be the most efficient way to run the vehicle. So if I go to I pedal, I can be fully regen, the highest regeneration. So it's going to be fast. So when I release throttle, it's going to decelerate and regenerate the battery. So at first, it takes a little bit of time to get used to, but it's very, very intuitive. And the way you have to look at it is, as you're coming off throttle, it's actually going to decelerate or brake. It's not utilizing the braking system at all. It is utilizing the motor to slow the vehicle down and then recoup energy back into the battery. If I was to come to a complete stop, I'm going to release slowly, and we can actually effectively not utilize the braking at all. Of course, if we need to brake suddenly or at a quicker pace, then I need to utilize the brake. Otherwise, when you get really used to your vehicle, you can just slow the vehicle down to a dead stop, and it will do a full stop for you. Really cool how that works. And again, it's nice that there's optional base there. So again, sport, I pedal. I'm going to stop. I'm going to put it in park. And when I reactivate, it maintains. But if I do a vehicle shut off and restart, it defaults back to level 3. So each time you're going to need to reactivate that I pedal. It would be nice if it would hold that position. I have gone through a lot of the screen here to see if I can keep that maintained, and I'm not able to do that. So I think in the Ioniq 5s I was able to. It does remember that. So maybe with this one it doesn't do that, but it would be a nice feature to have. On the Kona, we do have the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep, so I can go fully hands-free, and it does do a really well job of keeping it into the center of the lane. Slight micro adjustments, but it does work quite well. Again, Hyundai is super clever with the way they are running their shifters here. Now they're all on the column, so it's a twist forward, twist back, push for park. This really does save a lot of space in the center area for storage and all of these options here. Steering wheel has good controls, nice, easy, touchable. This is the ultimate model, so it does have quite a bit of features. Heated, cooled seats in the front, powered seats in the front. These are the sort of leatherette style material. You can get a full leather suede setup in the N-line model. So let's do a 0 to 100 pull in sport mode, and 3, 2, 1, go. So not too bad. Pulls pretty decent. Doesn't take off like a rocket, but it does have that good little torque jump. Has a nice little electric sound to it. So I'm going to talk about the vehicle dynamics of this particular car. Just going to run through a sequence of corners here. Obviously, this is one of the sort of the lighter of the SUVs in the EV market. See how much we can feel the weight. So a little roll going in. It does have a nice planted feel, and I'm able to roll through the corners quite nicely. Regen coming into the corner, which feels quite nice. Good grip, nice feel around the corners. Doesn't feel too heavy at all and doesn't want to sway back and forth. It was quite planted and solid. We're going to come into a corner here, a little hot. Turn in, feel it roll in, plant itself, and then we're able to really wing it around. Feels pretty good there. That's what's nice about the EV cars is with that added weight, obviously it's a disadvantage in some scenarios, but it does, as the battery is quite low in the car, it does give a good dynamic to the car because we're able to distribute the weight throughout the chassis of the car equally to give it a nice split to be nice and solid on the road. All right, so now I'm sitting here at 28% battery, 105 kilometers. What I'm going to do is go into their mapping system here, and I'm just going to see how it works. This is maybe the second time I've used it, so I'm just going to try and see how intuitive it is. So I can, on this side here, we have the little charging screen. I'm just going to go there. It's going to show me all the different charging spots there. I want to actually go straight to the Bromont area, and we're just going to add it to there. Then it's going to pop up the different ones. I can see this one here is, let's see, we'll go to here, St. Hubert. I'm going to activate that. Set as a destination. I'm not using the blue link. So then it's going to show the guidance. It'll activate it, show me the directions, and then it should potentially battery conditioning activated for optimum DC charging. So as I'm driving to this location, it's going to precondition the battery so that I can charge as fast as possible. So now we'll go onto our route here and we'll see at the charging station. All right, so we're approaching the charging station now. Obviously, these are always packed no matter where you go. Just gonna pull into here and stop. It's probably a little bit of our issue with an electric car is we still do not have the infrastructure for these cars. So we really gotta be aware that we're not able to go fully electric. It's gonna be literally impossible unless we can have hundreds of these things. When, you know, some bodies say that we need to go full electric by a certain year, obviously this cannot happen. This is political, which we won't talk about, but it's not possible to do this. I mean, if every car is electric, how are we able to integrate all these charging stations into everywhere all over the cities so that we're able to charge our cars when we need to? So as I'm here, I already have these apps pre-set up. So this is their Secret Electric. So when I go here, it's going to show me nearby stations. I have this particular one right in front of me. Do a quick little charge.
Charging unsuccessful.
So let's try this again. Previous one I went to was out of order. And this is kind of what I'm saying with these vehicles is they're not always perfect setup. So we're going to try this different one here. Three. It says brancher, which means plug in. Plug in.
Charging unsuccessful.
What? Okay, so after a little bit, we were able to get it to work. said charging started. Only 3 attempts later. It's showing me at 23%. Remaining time 1 hour 29 minutes. So I'm gonna go eat something and we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we're currently at 83%. It's taken about almost 50 minutes to get to there, so I'm just gonna complete this charge right now. Total $20.50. 20 bucks. Okay, so after around 50-minute charge, we went from 24% to 84%, and we're showing a 341 kilometer range for what's left. All right, cheers, let's go. Hey, thanks everyone for watching. It's a 2025 Hyundai Kona Electric. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be trying to do more videos like this. Thanks again. Just want to appreciate Hyundai Canada for again letting me have these vehicles to test drive for you guys. And honestly, really impressed with the vehicle in itself. Not a big fan of the electric cars, but it does work well. Didn't have any issues whatsoever. So thank you and peace out.